everyone, welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we will chat with Irene Lutz from Quinn Cycles about some upcoming bicycle events and bicycle related issues here in Quincy. First though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, a little bit of sunshine through the clouds. It's 44 degrees right now. It'll be turning cloudy this afternoon, maybe a spot shower with highs in the upper 40s. A chance for a spot shower this evening as temperatures drop off into the mid-30s. A little unsettled again tomorrow with some showers around in the afternoon and evening. Still rather cool and raw tomorrow with highs in the lower 40s. Starting to improve on Sunday, at least it'll be dry, with cloudy skies and high Sunday into the mid-40s. And then the light at the end of the tunnel is on Monday with abundant sunshine, mild temperatures in the low 60s, and looks like very nice viewing for the eclipse on Monday afternoon. But until then, we're dealing with the clouds and 44 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, the Quincy City Council is reviewing a request from Mayor Thomas Koch to borrow $157 million to build 2 new parking garages in Quincy Center. Mayor is seeking the funding to build those garages at the site of the former Ross Parking Garage. One garage would provide parking for the planned apartments and retail space at the site of the IHOP restaurant, and the other would provide parking for the planned new medical complex on the other side of the General's Bridge. The mayor says he'll seek other funding sources to offset those costs.
We're hoping we don't need to borrow that much money, but that is the appropriation request. Much like we do for schools, Joe, we go for the total amount of the cost of the project, but we never borrow that total amount because we get reimbursement from the school building authority of the state. And that's kind of the idea here, that we will be able to get some either reimbursement or direct assistance with one of the garages from some state program or federal program.
The City Council's Finance Committee will be reviewing those funding requests. 16 new firefighters joined the ranks of the Quincy Fire Department this week. The new recruits were sworn in during a ceremony in the Great Hall at Quincy City Hall on Monday. Chief Joe Jackson told the new recruits to embrace their new positions.
What a huge opportunity, and what you do with it moving forward is entirely up to you. One of the best things about the fire service is you're limited only by your own determination, right? So if you want to get your degree, if you want to become a hazmat tech, if you want to become an officer, this opens up a whole world of opportunities for you guys. So don't just get along for the ride, be along for the ride. Ring the towel on this. Don't squander the opportunity. A lot of people would give anything to be in your shoes. So that's it. Thank you. Congratulations to you, to your families. And with that,
The new firefighters are Timothy Barry, Jake DeFranco, Lorenzo Scarnisi, Andrew Brown, Jonathan Melanson, Edward Walsh, Liam Ball, Rance Gillespie, John Lawler, Jason Mitchell, Kevin Yang, Sean Keeley, Matthew J., Nicholas McGowie, Peter Senatori, and Joshua Rodriguez. The men will now begin an intense training program at the former St. Mary's School in West Quincy. Quincy City Council President and Ward 3 Councilor Ian Kane has filed paperwork to run for U.S. Senate from Massachusetts. Kane issued a statement of candidacy with the Federal Election Commission this week to run as a Republican for the seat currently held by Democratic incumbent Senator Elizabeth Warren. Kane said that he would be making a formal announcement later this month.
We just formed a committee with the Federal Election Commission. And so, right now, just kind of buttoning things up, making sure that we can get onto the ballot. It takes 10,000 signatures to do so. It's a Herculean effort to really build this organization from the ground up. It's kind of, as I say, a high growth startup. So we're just making sure that we can build the organization and put things in place. But we'll be making a more formal announcement about this towards the end of the month. So as always, please stay tuned.
Kane has not named a campaign manager yet. He says he'll continue to serve on the City Council during his run for the Senate. However, he says he will likely have to step down from the council if he is elected to the Senate this fall. Kane needs the 10,000 signatures by May 7th to get his name on the ballot for the September 3rd primary. Quincy Police Department earlier this week donated $10,000 to Marissa's Mission, which helps families who are dealing with cancer. Each year, the Quincy Police Department raises funds for the nonprofit during their Pink Patch campaign, selling pink patches and other merchandise. Officer Colleen Pacioretty and 911 dispatcher Laurie Brancaccio led the effort. Both are breast cancer survivors. The Pink Patch campaign has raised over $50,000 for Marissa's Mission over the past 5 years. Marissa's Mission was founded in memory of Marissa Federico of Braintree and Dorchester, who died of breast cancer in 2016, just shy of her 38th birthday. Visiting hours are being held today for a former Congressman, William Delahunt of Quincy. Delahunt died last Saturday at his Marina Bay home after a long illness. Surrounded by his family, he was 82. Delahunt served as a Quincy City Councilor, State Representative, Norfolk District Attorney, and Congressman. He retired in 2011. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch said Delahunt always had the best interests of his constituents at heart.
He and I would go at it from time to time in a fun way. I mean, you could really have a good time with him on whether it's on issues or certainly Quincy. I mean, he loved his native city, and he was a member of the board of directors from the Adams Presidential Center, and was, working hard with us to get to the point of building a facility. And I know that we'll miss him in so many different ways, and certainly my heart, my prayers go out to particularly his daughters, Kristen and Kara, his former wife Katie, and his friend Julie. Just a remarkable guy. It's the type you don't replace,
Delahunt is survived by his fiancée, 2 daughters, and 2 grandchildren. The visiting hours are today, 2 to 7, at the United First Parish Church in Quincy Center. City Hall and the Coddington Building will be closing to the public at noon today to allow for additional parking. A funeral mass will be said tomorrow at 11 at St. Gregory's Parish in Dorchester, and donations in Delahunt's memory may be made to that Adams Presidential Center. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, we chat with Irene Lutz of Quinn Cycles. That's next. Welcome back. We are really hoping that the weather improves enough to break those bicycles out this springtime. Next week looks pretty good, and that means the folks at Quinn Cycles are going to start to get very busy once again. And the president, Irene Lutz, stopped on by to chat with us a little bit about what will be happening in this new bike season. Irene, great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. It's always a pleasure. Although I know for you, bike season is 12 months out of the year, right?
Yes, there are some of us who ride all year round, everywhere. So
it must have been a challenge in the weather this past week for sure. My gosh.
Yeah, there are some days where you make other arrangements.
Yes.
Fortunately, we have lots of options, transportation options here. So
this is true.
Yeah.
For folks who don't know, let's do a little history lesson about what is Quinn Cycles.
Sure. So Quinn Cycles is an all-volunteer run organization. It was a group of people got together about 13 years ago.
Has it been that long?
I know.
Jeez.
I know. Really long time ago.
Yeah.
And we decided that Quincy needed some activists, some people to step forward and start pushing for better bike infrastructure. And
Sure.
we wanted to be able to bike safely in Quincy. And at that time I was biking with my family and my kids, and definitely saw a need for improvements. And so I joined. Lots of people got together and we started hosting a couple rides a month, and we started working with the planning department, and the Mayor's Bicycle Commission started not long after that, and so some of us are members of that.
Right.
And we just have continued to try and spread the word that biking in Quincy is safe, is fun, and is but actually can be made better. So
Sure.
we work both sides of that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, just the fact that now there is a bicycle commission, right? And
Yes.
is recognized by the city that exists to focus on these issues. It's a huge success.
Yeah.
You're now an established nonprofit 501c3
Yes, we are.
organization. It's
Yeah.
come a long way in I mean, relatively short period of time. How many members are there now in Quinn Cycles?
We vary between like 50 and 65 members that are paid. All of our events are free and open to the public,
Yes.
and so we don't require membership. It's just those people who want to, financially support our work. Biking is one of the least expensive forms of transportation. So it's not a lot of money for us to take people out on a ride. Again, we're all volunteers,
Yeah.
so we don't get anything from what we're doing, but we do maintain our website, and we do do tabling at events. We were at the Lunar New Year Festival recently and heard a lot from a lot of people who want to bike in Quincy and want to get to places, but there are certain parts of the city that need improvements. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's really the focus, right?
Yeah.
Both short term and long term.
Yes, yes, yeah.
But spring is here.
Yes, it
It
is.
was hard to believe it the past couple of days, but spring is here.
True, yeah.
And I know that you have annual or scheduled rides, right? Public
We
rides,
do,
yeah.
Yeah, so our ride season has actually already started.
Okay.
We had a
Oh, you did?
ride. So we try to do two different kinds of rides, some longer, more challenging rides, and those are going to be on the first Monday night of every month
Okay.
this season. We had one April Fool's Day, and so the next one will be May, I think it's the 6th is the first Monday.
Okay.
And that'll go through October. And then on other days we have rides that are for, usually between 8 and 10 miles, a little more relaxed pace, social, for the rider who wants to try biking in Quincy but maybe not, isn't a long distance rider yet.
Okay.
So we had one of those. We went out to Howe's Neck and we got to ride along the berm or the dike, whichever you prefer to
Yes.
call
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
the MWRA path there. And that's a lovely way to, during the day, get out there. We're looking forward to potential improvements as part of the President's Coast Path that I know you've interviewed folks about.
Oh,
So,
sure. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, good.
We'd love to see something like that happen and make it a more, after dark kind of a path experience as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Monday night rides, where and when do those?
Monday nights at 6 p.m. We
Okay.
meet in the parking lot of the Coddington building.
Okay.
And the routes are generally out through the Blue Hills into Milton along the Neponset
Oh,
Trail.
that's a long ride. Okay.
Yeah, it can be usually 12 to 15 miles, sometimes longer. Not quite so long this time of year because it does get dark earlier still.
Yeah.
So if you do join us, please bring your lights and your reflective gear. We do want to keep everybody safe. So.
Okay. Who can be a member of Quinn Cycles, and how does that happen?
Anyone can be a member of Quinn Cycles. It's a $25 annual membership fee. There's information on our website at quinncycles.org. There's a link you can sign up through PayPal, or there's information about sending a check to our treasurer if you are interested in doing it that way.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, our rides are mostly for folks 18 and older, or at
Okay.
least 16 and older. Minors, we ask to have a parent accompany or a guardian accompany you. We do ride on the street. We ride with traffic. It is a safe thing to do, but we understand that the little ones don't have as much awareness and control, so
Yeah.
we tend to ride with grown-ups.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does someone need? Do they need their own bike and their own equipment?
Yes, we request that you have to have your own bike. We don't provide those.
Okay.
Bring your own helmet. We do require helmets on our rides. And although it is legal, 16 and under is legally required to wear a helmet. Adults have the choice, but in our built environment, it still isn't quite safe enough for everyone. We want to make sure that you have some sort of protection on that level. It's not 100%. But it does protect if you should fall off
Sure.
your bike. But so we require a helmet, and we require you to have your own bike and to have a way to fix a flat or to get home should your bike break. We want you to be
okay.
prepared. So
Okay. To that end, you
Yes.
have a bike maintenance day coming up.
yeah, so we started this last year, and
Yeah.
it was a big success. We helped about, I think, 20 people or a little more than 20
Oh, wow,
people with their
okay.
bikes last year. And so at Central Middle School on next Saturday, the 13th, weather permitting, heavy downpours will postpone it, but
Okay.
we are bringing together a group of Quinn Cycles members, volunteers, who have some skills and knowledge about maintaining bikes and fixing minor things. So we have a registration via Eventbrite. We actually are almost full on the registration,
okay.
but we are accepting walk-ups, so it's
okay.
first come, first serve, as well as a registered spot. So if you have a bike that maybe the brakes aren't quite working the way you want them to, or they're squeaky, or your chain needs some lubing, or you have a flat tire that you just can't get to hold air, bring it by and we will help you with those things. But we are not going to be doing major fixes, so if your
Okay.
bike needs a new derailleur, don't bring it.
If it's in pieces, don't
Yeah,
bring it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
We will send you to a local bike shop for those kinds of fixes. But
Okay.
if it's minor maintenance and you just want to get some assistance as you do that, we are happy to provide that.
Okay, and this is free to the
Free,
public?
yeah.
Okay, nice.
Free and open to the public.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Again, the 13th from 1 to 4 in the Central Middle School, right in the parking lot there.
Yes, we'll be outside in the parking lot. Yep.
Super,
Yeah.
okay.
It's exciting. We want to get as many people riding their bikes as possible, and sometimes it's just that flat tire
Right.
that makes you leave the bike in the garage.
Yeah.
And we want to get it out on the road.
Sure, even if it's, even if it's not on a Quinn Cycles ride, just on a
Exactly.
ride in their
Yeah.
own neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Last year we had somebody just walking by and saw us and ran home and got their bike that they hadn't ridden for like 3 or 4 years, and it really just needed to be cleaned and the tires pumped up and the chain lubed, and it was good to go.
Oh,
so
there you go.
There's that.
Super.
Yeah. Bring your bike.
Also, speaking of maintenance, tell me what's going to be happening at the public libraries.
Oh, that's right. The commission, the bike commission.
That's why I'm here, Irene, just to,
I know, remind
just
me of
nudge
all
you
the
and say-
amazing things. So the bike commission has purchased 4 bike repair stands that
Yeah.
will be installed sometime this year at each of the branches of the library. So if you ride around Boston, you have probably seen these in different areas. It's a pole that has a little shelf. You can pick your bike up and put it up there. It has tools attached and a pump that you can inflate your tires with.
That's so neat, yeah.
So if you're riding around, you realize you have a slow leak and you just want to pump it up before you go home, or you get a flat and you need to fix it, the tools are there. And the air is there, and you can do that. So we are hopefully, once those are installed,
Yeah.
Quinn Cycles will be celebrating at each branch with a helmet giveaway, and just let people know that that these facilities are available.
Yeah, little bike pit stops, right?
Yeah,
very good.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
at all the branches in Quincy.
Yes, every branch is supposed to get one.
Super. Okay. Any timeline for that happening? Or?
Not yet,
Okay.
not yet. It requires a concrete pour, and I know
Yeah.
that TPAL and DPW are still working out the details of that.
Okay, but this calendar year.
It should be. We have them.
Okay.
So hopefully they get in the ground this year.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah.
something to look forward to. Something else to look forward to is the Neponset Trail is being expanded.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The Neponset Greenway Association and DCR, thank
Yes,
you,
yeah.
have it's underway. Construction is underway of an extension, the northern extension of the Neponset Trail. So it's one of our favorite places to lead people on rides.
right? Yeah.
It's car free. It's beautiful scenery, and you're in the woods. There's a beautiful Harvest Bridge. Now we'll be able to, or soon, not now, but soon. It has ended at Tenay Beach in Dorchester.
In Dorchester, yeah.
And they are building an extension that will go all the way out to Morrissey Boulevard, closer to the harbor walk at UMass.
Yep.
So it's going to have it's going to bypass the off-ramp on Morrissey Boulevard. So we have led rides out to Castle Island, and that's always one of the parts that some people get a little, I'm not sure about that about. And now we get to avoid it entirely once
Super,
this
yeah.
path is done. It'll have a boardwalk that goes up over the water by the gas tanks, and then gas tank singular now,
Right.
and
That's right.
come back down onto the sidewalk on Morrissey Boulevard. So
Excellent.
I do know the Greenway Association is trying to schedule a walk-through of the path and see the progress of it being built sometime in the next few months.
Okay.
So,
all right. So something
you
to
can
look
check our
forward
website for that. We'll put a notice up when that's available.
to. Sure, sure. Are you finding that more folks are using bicycles now than maybe when Quinn Cycles first started?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. So we've done an annual bike count for the past 10 years, I believe, and every year we see more and more bicyclists, and the count goes up. And I'm sure you've noticed there are a lot of cameras at
Yes.
intersections.
Yep.
The city uses that for a lot of data collection.
I see.
And the trends there are the same. More and more people are riding bikes in Quincy, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice to see.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit before about some improvements that need to happen for bike infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would those be?
So we've made so much progress in Quincy. We have new bike lanes on Washington Street,
Yep.
on Quarry Street. We have bike lanes on Billings Road. Like, there's bike lanes popping up all over the place, and it's really wonderful. It shows people that there is space for biking in Quincy, and it is a safe and convenient way to get around. But it's not complete. The network is not connected. So the city recently announced at our last commission meeting that they've hired Fuss & O'Neill, an engineering firm that they've worked with in a number of projects, to revamp or update our bicycle master plan, our bicycle network master plan. So 10 years ago, we had a master plan that was adopted by City Council, and we've gotten a lot of the things, or quite a few of the things in there done, but in the meantime, there's been development, there's been other things that have happened, and so some of the suggestions in that plan may be out of date or not appropriate at this time. And so the city's hired Fuss and O'Neill to come in, and they are going to update. There's going to be some community input parts of that. So Quinn Cycles hopes to amplify that opportunity so that more and more people from the community can give their input and express what they want to see in terms of a bike network here.
Okay.
So yeah, we do have some gaps. And a bike lane will, come almost to an intersection and then stop. And intersections are where the conflicts happen. And so we need to figure out how can we make our bike network as comprehensive as our vehicle network and our transit network.
Yeah. The commission itself, when does the commission meet?
The commission meets on the third Thursday of every month.
Okay.
And we meet on Zoom at 6:30.
Oh, okay.
And you can find the links on the city website for connecting to that, or reach out to Allie Rule, the traffic engineer. She is the chair of the commission. Or you can reach out to me, quinncycles@gmail.com, and I can put you on the email list for getting those notices.
Okay. It sounds like there's a good cooperative effort between the bike community and the city. Is that true? Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very impatient, but I would like to see more movement.
It's only been 13 years.
Yeah, I'd like to see more movement faster
Yeah.
in terms of including bike facilities. But the city is definitely supportive. I mean, over
Okay.
the years, we've had efforts at Bike Share. Blue Bikes is a dock-based bike
Yes,
system,
yeah.
and has a certain system requirements that are a little more expensive to bring out, to expand with.
I see.
So in the meantime, we tried OFO, the dockless bike share,
Oh,
years
right,
ago, and that became Lime, and then Lime left bikes and went to scooters only.
Yes.
And right now, the city has one bike share system over near Thousand Southern Artery. It's called Metro Mobility.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it's a. If you're familiar with Zipcar, it's kind of the same thing. It's not a station-to-station kind of bike share, but you rent the bike for however long you want it, and then you have to return it to the same location,
Gotcha,
like a
okay.
Zipcar. And that's been very popular. We were recently, the commission shared a data map of where people are riding and what they're doing. They're going all over the place with it. So it's a really exciting thing to see, and we hope that it will expand through the city.
All right. When did that start, Irene? I don't.
It started last year.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a private company.
It is a private company. There was I know there were some like leadership changes on that side of it. So but it seems to be back on track, and we're building that relationship. That's what I hope to see grow.
Yeah. Okay. Have you met with the relatively new police chief? I guess still, and worked out a compromise there.
I have not
Okay.
yet. No.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. We used to collaborate with the police department and the community police unit for our Ride the Spine event.
Yes.
Due to volunteer capabilities this year, we have decided to not do that event this year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Instead, we are collaborating with some other bike advocacy groups, so West Rocks Bikes, Dot Bikes, Bike Milton. It's still in the early stages right now, but we've done a couple of these before where we all meet at ride from our own communities and meet at Mattapan Station, ride the Neponset Trail to beautiful Quincy's beautiful Marina Bay,
Yes,
and we
okay.
get to hang out there. And I love showing people how to get over the bridge and enjoy biking in Quincy. So
Okay, all right.
that's tentatively scheduled for May 11th. So
Okay.
keep news on that. May is Bike Month.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so
Oh.
we'll be doing Bike to Work Day. Boston holds a festival on City Hall Plaza on the 17th.
Okay.
So we'll be leading a convoy into that event. And then we have a destination ride in May, too. I think a group of us are taking folks to Martha's Vineyard for a bike ride. So.
Fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's made for biking.
It
and
is.
the vineyard.
It
They have dedicated bike trails all through the dunes. So,
I know.
yeah.
Those vacation spots that everyone thinks of biking, that's what I want to make Quincy.
Yes.
That Quincy, biking doesn't just have to be for vacation. It can be for every day, and make your experience in your own community as good as it is on vacation.
Yeah, it's just, it's an urban environment, so it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's different challenges, right, as opposed to like Martha's Vineyard for sure.
Definitely
Yeah.
different challenges, but still doable. Lots
Yeah.
of cities around the world are making space for bikes within their existing infrastructure.
Well, I know they're expanding the Cape Cod Rail bike trail all the way down to Provincetown now. So
Yeah, yeah.
there is an effort, you know, and
Absolutely.
a need for it. Your annual meeting is coming up this month, right?
Yes, April 25th
Yep.
at the library we'll be meeting.
Okay.
So we elect new officers, board members. If anyone's interested in joining our group, please come and learn about what we do in
Okay.
an in-person meeting.
An in-person meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Anything else you'd like to leave folks with before we wrap up today? Irene, there's a lot to talk about, I know.
There's so much,
Yeah.
I know. We're also, I started a personal project with
Yep.
Quinn Cycles. I'm leading a book club at the library. We're calling it Rush Hour Readers.
Rush Hour Readers.
Yes, we had
Okay.
our first meeting in February, or actually it was March, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And we've been selecting transportation-related books. So we first read Walkable City by Jeff Speck, and coming up at the end of this month, we are reading, it's called Curbing Traffic, written by an American couple that now works in the Netherlands. So ideas about what can we do with our space? How can we share it and utilize it, you know, with cars and with other modes of transportation?
Sure. And again, when are those happening?
Those are every other month on the last Tuesday of the month.
At the main branch?
At the main branch.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Just on their website and on ours as well.
Okay.
If anybody is ready to get out riding, but you don't have a helmet and want one, or you need bike lights because you want to, you're commuting home from work or something like that, please reach out to us, quinncycles@gmail.com, and let us know what you need, and we have helmets to give you, and we have some lights donated by Mass Bike that we can give away.
Excellent. Always great to
Yeah.
see you, Irene. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate the opportunity.
It's our pleasure. We'll have you back too.
Awesome.
Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Not bad. Take a bike ride this afternoon. Just cloudy, maybe a spot shower, but probably not. Highs in the upper 40s. Little unsettled tomorrow as well, with some afternoon and evening showers. Cloudy on Sunday, but it should stay dry. And then look at Monday. We're waiting for the sunshine and mild temperatures in the low 60s. Thanks again to Irene Lutz for joining us from Quinn Cycles. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Monday here in the program, Paul Gorman, president of the South Shore YMCA, will be joining us. Meantime, check our website, please. It's qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.